Hello and namaste. This is your host Meera conducting today's conversation, hosted by Miracle Career Consult and in association with Trainer James. So today we have a very special guest. He has been contributing his work in the field of IELTS and other English preparation tests. He is one of the best experts in the city. Let's welcome in our conversation our special guest, Mr. Sitoshna-TJI. Welcome in our conversation, sir.
Thank you for having me here.
So, Sitoshna sir, we would like to know about you first. So, could you briefly introduce yourself and share your background in the related field?
So my name is Sitoshna-TJI and I have been into this field for the last year. So English has never been my background to be honest, but what I got into IELTS was IELTS gives students a lot of opportunities, and whether be it for study abroad or whether they want to settle abroad or any kind of opportunities. So I want to help students in this field, and to be honest, it's been quite a privilege for me.
Okay, so my second question is, how long have you been involved in the field, like training students for IELTS preparation and any other English preparation classes?
So I have been into IELTS for the last year, but during this time I have also familiarized myself with other English tests like PT or Duolingo. And I have come to know the qualitative differences within these tests, and I'm sure that I could get the students to understand what they're good into and to choose whatever best suits them.
So good to know about that, sir. So, what motivated you to get involved in this field?
So I have never been into IELTS really, to be honest, but what motivated me to get into this field was when I was a student myself, there were everyone around me who were struggling to catch up on the answers, or even those who were academically strong, they were having problems with time management. So I believe that everybody has a chance to go abroad, and even the weaker students or be it the stronger ones, and they get limited, and just being limited due to the fact that they couldn't come up with the answers is not good for them. So I believe that the main primary motivation for me was to get um, all the students to go abroad, and I want to do something in their betterment. So I want to be in support of them, and it's been a privilege to be in working for them.
So that was quite an inspiration. My next question would be, how would you describe the current scenario of IELTS and English test preparation among Nepalese students?
So I believe the market today is potentially booming nowadays, especially considering the fact that a lot of people in the recent times have been wanting to go abroad. So it's quite booming, and but the market remains fragmented, as in the sense that there have been a lot of IELTS and PT centers around Kathmandu, and they optimize in not giving the education or primary focus on students. And I believe students also have started to gain the fact that learning isn't only important, but they have to be prepared in terms of time management and also what's good for them. So I believe there has been a fragmentation in the market. Some test preparation centers are good enough, while some not so much.
So what trends have you noticed in recent trends, like does student choose IELTS, or PT or Duolingo? What do you think? What do they prefer?
I believe ours still remains the majority of the students' choices because it is accepted all over the world, and more than 12,000 universities around the world accept it. But PTE has slowly been catching up. So I believe it's due to the faster result time and fully computerized test. So everybody has a vibe. You see, someone if they want to do it in paper-based test, then I believe ours is better for them. And if somebody wants to do it in a fully computerized environment, then I believe PTE or Duolingo will be good for them. And also, Duolingo has been catching up, especially in countries like USA, where a lot of universities are potentially starting to accept Duolingo and is even cheaper than IELTS and PTE. But in my opinion, IELTS is the best among them, and it remains the primary choice of students.
Nice to know about all these things. So my question is, what are the most common struggles that our students are facing these days in preparing, IELTS or Duolingo and any English preparation test?
Oh, there are tons to be honest, but primarily I believe it's the foundation. So a lot of students have weak foundation, and which does not allow them to score higher in speaking or writing. Even for listening, if they cannot understand what they are saying, that makes the problem of the foundation, then I believe it will be harder for the students to catch up. So particularly speaking and writing, portion and sometimes in listening. Because in reading we have some time and the students can judge what they're reading, and but we don't have the time for other sections. And I believe the foundation remains the problem for a lot of students.
We had a talk about issues and the problems that are existing here. But how do you address such issues like lack of English foundation or test anxiety?
Okay, so what we sort of do is we start out by giving a pre-assessment test, and it sort of gets us to know what the level of the student is. So we can make a custom study plan for them, and we also help them in mock test, in taking mock tests, and supervise them daily. So we give regular feedbacks, and we try to make them work upon their feedbacks, and we try to correct their answers upon the feedbacks that they have received. And if they are too weak foundationally, then we also provide them additional classes. So I believe it's not just about learning. We believe in the future of students and their journey. So I believe that every student has a right to gain more, and we try to do in terms of the good of the students. Okay, so regarding the anxiety issues, I believe a lot of students who, even if they are academically strong, would be weak if they are put on the spot, and they wouldn't be able to maximize their potential. So we plan to give them a mock test as in the same structure as they would face in the final day. So it helps to reduce their nerves also.
So we talk about problems. So let's come into the solution. So what do you recommend for those students? How would they improve in their band score, and how would they improve overall in this proficiency test exam?
Okay. I don't know how many teach these, but I always start out with the basics. Because if you have a strong foundation, you can automatically update your score, nevertheless, whatever the module it may be. So I always start out with saying that they should listen and they should make a habit of speaking regularly. So it may be a read aloud section where they grab a book and they explain or read loudly. It helps them in speaking, and it also helps them to know some new words and they can check out their meaning. In addition to these, reading books has its advantage in the grammar section, so they can update their grammar knowledge as well. And for the listening part, I always tell them to listen to movies or some podcasts. So it gets to, or it helps them to know how native speakers speak naturally and what sort of words they use or what sort of vocabulary they use. And they would also get to know the context of it, so they can use it freely and whenever they need it. And apart from that, there are a lot of issues where students in reading section particularly do not go well in terms of time management. So to be able to finish it in time, I believe that reading section has to be done in such a way that you read a paragraph once and you never come back to it. So I always tell them to go it on a paragraph approach and not on the question based approach. So these are some strategies I use.
Okay. Okay, so can we add more practical strategies on this topic
Yeah,
to
we
help
can.
our students?
Yes, obviously we can. So we give them a mock test every day, so it helps them to sort out their nerves on the day of the exam. So it does it, and we also tell them to practice all the sections regularly, especially on the weaker ones. And for the writing section, we try to give a generalized structure, and we help them to give a feedback and approach their writing in that approach, in that way. And for the speaking, we try to lay down their foundations and also to watch some 9-band videos which helps them to speak clearly and in a natural way.
As a reference.
Yeah.
So when we say we means Miracle Career Consult and Trainer James, right? So what makes us different than other institutions?
Okay. The most important thing is we focus primarily on the students. So like I said before, if the foundation is shaky, then we build it up from the scratch. So we may provide them additional classes and also help them with everyday language. Okay. Apart from that, we give them mock tests and we track their progress daily, so that we can know what their weaknesses are and we can work on it. And at the end of the session, we also try to give them a revision in the sections that they are weaker in. Okay, so it may help them to. So we focus on the career of the students rather than just teaching. So I believe that's important for a student.
Yes, definitely. So let's come to our last question of this conversation. So what would you think that one piece of advice you would recommend to our student who is trying to prepare for IELTS or to test like that?
Okay, so the most important thing I feel that I've seen this in every student that they are almost in a sort of rush. They want to hurry up in their exams and they want to take their exams as soon as possible. And for this, they cannot develop their skills. So what I believe is you must be consistent, you must be persistent, and you must follow through every day. And even if you are weaker, then you can check up on the answers, and you must understand by yourself what your weaknesses are, what areas you have to focus, and you have to further develop your answers, or you have to further develop your strategies based on what you are missing out on them. So I believe it's very necessary to be persistent and you must work very hard. So I believe the students so I always give the students advice that take your time at first. So unless you are sure and you are catching up on how to give an answer or how to find out on the answers, then it's just a piece of cake for them. Okay, first you have to take it slowly, and then once you figure out everything, then that's just a walk in the park for them.
Okay, so I hope this conversation will be very helpful to our students, and we would like to thank you and thank you for your time, sir.
Thank
And
you for
let's
having
hope
me.
our student will do good with this conversation.